leaders, dreamers, changemakers, welcome to the Vibrant Living Podcast. Here, limitations shatter and potential explodes into a kaleidoscope of possibility. At the helm, Donna Tashjian, life mastery coach and founder of Vibrant Living International, weaves godly wisdom and Christian perspective into every step, empowering you to discover your purpose and light up your world. Here is your host, Donna.
Hello, my Vibrant Living community. This is Donna, and I'd like to welcome you back to a special guest episode of the Vibrant Living International podcast. Today, Lynda is with me. Lynda, where are you coming from in the world?
I am in Southern California.
Ooh, and at the time of this recording, I have a feeling you're warm.
Oh, yes. Very, very warm.
What is the temperature there today?
I believe it's 92.
Okay. That is warm. Yes, it is warm. So welcome to the Vibrant Living podcast. Would you tell us a little bit about you?
Well, I'm a native of Orange County, California. So I've always been in Southern California. I'm married to a fellow private investigator. So there's two of us in the house. And we have the world's cutest dog, no matter what anybody says, he's the cutest. His name's Mannix. People of a certain age would know where that name came from. So if you give it some thought. For the last 43 years, I've been a private investigator. And that happened through an interesting little twist, because life doesn't always go as planned, is how I like to say it. But I grew up, all I wanted to do was be a ballerina, and I was going to be a ballerina. I was on my way. I was accepted by a ballet company to go join them. And a few months before I was going to go, I did a part-time job, just make some extra money before I moved off to New York. I was working at my local police department. And one night I got injured there. And it was a knee injury that ended my ballet career just in a split second. So I worked in law enforcement for a few years. And when I got out of law enforcement, I started a typing business. At home, I was a trendsetter. I started working at home in 1982.
Ooh.
So have never worked outside the home since. But by coincidence, several of my first clients were private investigators, and one of them hired me as an investigator in December of 1982. The rest is history.
Wonderful. It is, I was joking with you before we began recording. I mean, I watch a lot of crime shows, and so there's PIs involved in a lot of that. But to know a real life person that has done it for as many years, I'm sure you have some interesting stories you could tell.
Oh, I have stories, yeah.
Oh, and you're also an author.
I am an author. I had contributed to a couple books, including, a couple that were PI related, training manuals, so to speak, and then some chapters. But late last year, I wrote my own book, and this is it. It's always right next to me every waking moment. And it's your amazing itty bitty, there we go, Keep Your Children Safe book. It's very little, as you can tell. That's on purpose. Because the topic, it talks about sextortion and human trafficking, and it's a tough topic. Not a lot of people want to read a 200-page long book.
Right.
So, it's very exciting. I always wanted to do that, and I finally did.
Why is that subject important to you?
Growing up in a dance studio, I was surrounded by a bunch of mostly little girls, and there were some things that happened to a couple of my classmates when I was super young that were terrible and awful, and no one knew how to handle it. So as I got older, I kind of always had a heart for kids. I've never given birth to a child, but at this point in time, I've got hundreds of them out there because of what I do. But when I first started working as an investigator, one of the very first cases I worked on was a little girl that had been kidnapped. And she was kidnapped by her uncle, who brutally raped her multiple times over a 72-hour time period, and then sold her to his friends for sex. So that was 43 years ago. They didn't call it human trafficking or sex trafficking. They just said, oh, the poor little thing was abused. But that totally cemented my thing. I told my boss then, I said, anything having to do with kids, I want that to be my case. because I was instantly drawn to that. And I have never wavered from that.
Right. So give us some of the things that are in this book. Why should people read it?
This book includes the basics because it's like, it's little, but it's got the basics, the most important things that people need to know regarding, for instance, how to spot a predator. Most of these predators are online. Like 90% of trafficking and grooming, especially of kids, starts online. Social media is a dangerous, dangerous place. So it says how to spot one. How do you know the person that's talking to you is a predator? And then what to do if you're contacted by a predator. Most people don't have a clue. They just follow along with whatever the evil person tells them to do because these bad guys and girls know how to manipulate people.
Right.
And I say the title is Keep Your Children Safe, but it's really keep yourself and everyone you know safe, because everything in this book, except for the question, how old are you, applies to anybody, to, kids, people that are on dating apps, people that are randomly meeting new friends online, elderly. There's so much scamming, things going on out there. So many predators online all the time.
Yeah. The elderly get taken advantage of a lot.
They do a lot.
Yeah. Getting asked for information, and they're not as savvy as far as technology goes, that they don't know that you shouldn't give out your social security number or whatever.
I very recently worked a case. I'll say this really fast. 78-year-old man contacted by a beautiful 52-year-old woman, and she was real. Oftentimes they're not. They're AI. She was real. In less than a week, she got $100,000 out of him and had him convinced they were going to get married. And she only needed $300,000 more to pay the storage fee on these $17 million in gold that her family has in another country.
Oh my.
Which is like there's so many red flags in what I just said. There's so many red
flags there.
Yeah. And luckily he had a caregiver who asked him questions about the girlfriend that was going to come and help care for him. And that caregiver paid attention and they hired me. So it happened so fast. We were able to get his bank account frozen while we did the investigation, and, saved him a lot of grief and a lot of money.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And so in learning to be aware. And the other thing that I've heard is that so many times they're pretending that they're a child for children.
Yes. I've done a lot of cases, some personally that I worked start to finish, where a teenager or a preteen thought they were talking to someone that's a year or two older than them. And that person either convinces them to go out and meet them somewhere.
Right.
And I always say, anytime someone under the age of 18 is, loaned a phone, because I always say the parents own the phone, or whoever's paying for the device owns it. They're loaning it to the child.
Right.
So when they loan that device to the child, they need to have a contract, and that contract needs to include that they will not ever, 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 under any circumstance, go out and meet someone they only know online, because it's so dangerous. And then some of these people online that are pretending to be kids are convincing, especially teenage boys, to send them an inappropriate photo. First a little provocative photo, and then they escalate to a nude photo or a video, always also showing the person's face so they can be identified. And they go from this flirty little kind of sexy conversation, which these kids should not be having, but they're kids. It goes to then the person demanding money. And it's like that. It's like, oh, you're so handsome and you're so hot, and I can't wait to meet you too. Give me $3,000 or I'm going to send this photo to everyone you know. And kids are committing suicide over that because they don't know what to do.
Wow.
We need to teach them what to do. That's also in the book. It's like very simple. They need,
A lot of times though, they don't even, the innocence of, they don't even understand the photo and the gravity of the situation.
Right.
Because, but anyway, and one of the things that my kids didn't have phones when they were little. So I'm older generation in that respect. But One of the things I always says is listen to your spirit, listen to your gut, because you can tell when something feels off, even when everything looks right. My son gave me a book, and is the wonderful thing about fear, which I always, don't be afraid. I'm always fighting fear, that kind of thing. But and the book is full of stories about women whose lives were saved or not by listening to something feels off here, and in paying attention to all of that. But it is being aware, because they get really good at it. So
they are masterful.
They're very, very masterful at the deception. So it is being able to listen to it. So, what else would you like to share with us today about your book or anything else in your life?
A couple of little important tidbits that I put out when I speak, especially with kids, and with adults, which this one sounds kind of funny. But I always say, don't send anything or put anything out on the internet that you don't want your grandma to see. And it's a really good, you want to follow your gut, your instinct, your feelings, because they're always right.
Yep.
Always right. So if there's that little, angel on your shoulder saying, don't do it, and the little devil's like, oh, come on. Yeah. Well, think about grandma.
Yeah.
Do you want your grandmother to see what's out there? Kids gasp in horror when I say that. They're not afraid of their parents, but grandma. It's kind of funny. So that's one that I always say. And then, I cannot reiterate enough, do not go out and meet a stranger that you met online. It's just so dangerous. And if you make a mistake, there's someone out there to help you. And that's these kids that are committing suicide. They freak out. They don't know what to do. And some of these are happening within 2 or 3 hours of the initial contact by the predator. And mom and dad go to bed at night. Their kid is fine. They wake up in the morning and their teenage, usually son, has killed themselves. And they had no idea anything was going on. And the kids that leave notes say, I didn't know what to do. They need to know what to do. And they need to know, if they go to their parents and say, hey, I made a mistake.
Right.
People make mistakes.
Right.
Help me. The parents need to know what to do to help and not just flip out on them and, go off on them. So communication is huge.
Yes. Sounds like everybody needs this book, because everybody knows somebody.
Yes.
Everybody knows somebody that's encountered something like this, and it's being educated so that they don't have free reign and the deception is exposed. Let the light shine, Lord. Let the light shine on all that darkness. So thank you, Lynda, for taking the time to write this book and for all that you're doing to help these people that get in these situations. And it's a joy to meet you, and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
I know this is a big topic that Lynda and I discussed today, but everyone needs to get this book. So grab it. The link will be wherever you find me sharing this. And I look forward to talking to you soon. If you would like to talk, the link to schedule a consultation is there with me. God has answers to whatever you're going through in your life. There is always hope. And I believe in you. Thank you for being part of the Vibrant Living community. And I'll look forward to talking to you soon. Bye for now.
I hope your soul feels ignited, your spirit nourished, and your mind buzzing with possibilities. Share this with a friend who needs a dose of vibrant living. Tag us on #Vibrant Living Podcast and tell us your biggest takeaway. For more support, clarity, and wisdom, visit Donna at iVibrantLiving.com. See you soon.